screen was changed. Next up is the Academic Faculty's sharing session by our lovely faculty members, Dr. LB, Dr. Rama, and Dr. Richard. For this segment, they will focus on postgraduate studies from the perspective of the lecturer's classroom experience, postgraduate pathways, including the DBA program. Dr. LB, Dr. Rama, and Dr. Richard, please.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to our going to be very interesting conversation. I'm very happy to have two of my best fellow colleagues here with me, Dr. LB from the School of Business and Social Sciences, and Dr. Rama from the School of Information Technology. So we're going to talk a bit about postgraduate studies right after your undergraduate studies. And also, right now, everybody is in the heat of things, you're in the groove, and you're going to graduate. So I think it's a good time to really start your next progression to the postgraduate degree program. Dr. Rama, do you agree with me on that?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Richard, for the lovely introduction. And we too have the two lovely, the colleagues with me today. So let's start the discussion. So I would like to start with the classroom experience first. And I would like to take your inputs on my views also. What do you think nowadays we are moving towards the hybrid learning environment? Like
The
we are
hybrid
no more.
learning is wonderful.
Yeah, so we are no more with the conventional learning, and as well as the students are not only used to with the conventional face-to-face learning and the teaching, but we are into the hybrid environment where we are moving towards the online learning, online teaching, which is very great for today's environment. If you see during the pandemic, during the COVID condition, if this hybrid environment, yeah, is not supported by the lecturers, by the students, then how can the students achieve the target? They must have the gap in their studies. The students are remotely located. Somebody is in China, some in Vietnam, so we are in Singapore. So it is very difficult in this pandemic condition to travel, we all understand. So this hybrid learning environment is maintaining the balance between this crisis and the education. No doubts that this technology has totally changed the classroom experience for us also, because we are also used to with the face-to-face teaching only. But this is definitely
Mm,
very helpful.
for the teaching of cybersecurity and IT courses, hybrid learning definitely provides a much more interesting experience because now you are able to operate your machines on and offline, right?
As well as if I talk about more about this classroom experience, nowadays, like I'm the program leader in the Teesside University. What I see, the university is more demanding the practical stuff, as well as they also want the professionalism in their students. So with this classroom experience, we found that group project is one of the exercise where we are trying to mingle the multicultural people, the multicultural students from different countries. They're working together, they're sitting onto the same project. This is not only improving their learning, this is also improving their social interaction. They're building the connections between them for the future. This is very much required. Having a good friendship will definitely work more good when they're actually going to work in their companies. Yeah, so what do you say? Like, I feel like social interaction is very much required. Not only the bookish knowledge, we should be little bit more professionalism, right? So
Yeah, in your Master of Science in Cybersecurity program, you have got a very interesting component called hacking the human.
yes.
And also, there is this course about mobile security and cybersecurity, really interesting.
Right. So we need the
Yeah.
practical stuff, and I think online platform is more useful because I'm sharing my screen. They're also doing together at their own end, so they're feeling comfortable. Whatever they cannot speak, even in the face-to-face lesson, they have the chat box. They're writing over there, so I'm able to understand what's going in their brain. So I feel like this hybrid learning is totally changed the education world. What you say,
Wow,
Dr.
that's really
Alvi?
wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
Dr.
Dr. Richard and
LB.
Dr. Brahma. Absolutely. I think in some ways it's a good preparation for the road ahead because these days the uh, the the globe itself is going into a absolutely hybrid workplace. That means it's a globally dispersed teams. That means the client could be in China, the head of the organization could be in the US, the all other employees could be dispersed all over the world, different cultures, different backgrounds. So coming to MDIS really prepares you for that kind of environment because you learn to work with students from all over the world. You learn to actually, at a very basic level, you learn to decipher their accents. And then
Yes.
you'll realize that even the styles of working are slightly different. Some students work in a slightly different way. And you learn to adjust to that in college itself. So that when you go to the workplace, you are quite comfortable working with, fellow colleagues from all over the world.
Yeah. Very correct. So we are
So, Dr.
preparing them.
LB,
Yeah.
you teach in a Master of Business Administration program in the MBS, the business school. And in the MBA program, there are many students coming together, uh, talking about different business cases, talking about different business experiences. And internationally, I think MDIS has a wonderful pool of international students that could give new perspectives all the time.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a very rich experience when you come into a postgraduate program because quite often many people have worked in different kinds of organizations. They are bringing different experiences, and the sharing of all that experiences is as valuable as the teaching from the teachers or from the module, etc. It's a very valuable input. It's a very valuable
Yeah, and
input.
from what I understand, the cases have also been further developed into our DBA programs, right? Our Doctor of Business Administration program, run by the School of Business and Social Sciences as well. And these projects, in fact, became quite a big hit. And they made a lot of contributions to the local business and also international business scenes, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. We are very happy and proud of the doctorate program. That means you can enter MDIS as a diploma student, and you can then do your graduation, your post graduation, and then you can do your doctorate. It's a fantastic achievement, and you'll be very happy to know that one of the students who I taught at the undergraduate program at one point went on to do his MBA. And then I just discussed with him very casually. I think, you should do your doctorate. And so by planting that little seed in his mind, today he's doing his doctorate. And the remarkable thing, of course, is also that he's 65 years old. And there are extremely elderly students in the doctorate program. And there are very young people as well. There are very 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, very successful professionals. So the doctorate program is something that energizes your career, which is geared to make you stay within industry. That's why it's called the DBA rather than the PhD. The PhD
Yes.
tends to encourage you to become a teacher or to do research. The DBA program tends to keep you in industry, and of course, later on in life, if you ever want to do teaching, you're absolutely welcome. The standard of the DBA is as high as the PhD.
Mm. So, Dr. Rama, how about more skill-based postgraduate programs like the master program that you're teaching in? Uh, besides, because the MBA seems to be a more general program, right? In that sense, looking at things at the macro view. So, is there a lot of micro perspectives in your postgraduate degree program?
Yes, definitely. For our campus, I would like to tell you first. In our PG program, we are offering Master of Science in Cybersecurity, And before that, like we our students are also doing bachelor in science of cybersecurity, of course. But we have a full path. Like students are taking the admission in the diploma. From the diploma, they're moving towards the graduation, and we are making their PG pathway in a way. Like we are preparing them, we are motivating them. How those memorization concepts from the diploma and the little practical stuff from the degree, how these micro small things, they are helping them to, they're preparing them, they're motivating them even. Yes, why not we complete, we have only 1 year of PG program, so we should complete it because we are just fresh, we have all the knowledge. So my suggestion, instead of taking the long gap, so these small things which in their young age they just now collected, my suggestion is they should complete before moving into the industry, because it takes only 1 more year to complete their master degree. What I realized, like I'm teaching many of the students who are like of my parents age even. So when I talk to them, their experience increase my learning also. That's why I'm trying to tell you, like some of the students, they later on realize, they have the promotion, but they can't get it because they don't have degree. So sometimes at the age of 50 they realize, or 60 they realize, then they're coming back and doing part-time degrees just because they need the degree. They're not able to promote it even though they have experience and everything. So my suggestion is, when they're collecting the micro things, so they should make a full tree, so that they can happily go into the professional environments and can increase their level of capability without any hesitation that, hey, I don't have master or I don't have graduation. So that's
Hmm.
very
Absolutely.
important. Education is having their
Yeah,
own respect. So
yeah, I
that's,
Absolutely.
totally
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Dr.
totally
Rama, I
agree.
completely
So,
agree with you on this.
yeah,
Just to
Dr. Ram,
carry on Rama's point, see,
yes, please.
one of the things we found is that all those who are doing their MBA, for instance, they all have done much better than before. That means we found this from the actual facts, from what we are actually seeing. And especially if they, I think what happens is once you've done your MBA, you get the option to change your company, to change your job, to move to a higher position, to move to a higher salary. And that is something that we have seen evidenced by the facts. It's not something that is just a theory. We have seen this happening to many of our students. So they, after completing their MBA, they find that, oh, I have many more opportunities. I can apply to these companies. I can apply to for these positions, and I can be considered seriously for them. So whereas they may not have been considered seriously if they had
Yes, totally
have
agree.
a
Like
mark.
if you see the CEO of any organization, if you look into the Microsoft, if you look into the Google, they're already highly qualified. They're not waiting for the degrees. Yeah. So if you're highly qualified, you don't need to bother about them. My meaning is, highly qualified doesn't means like your whole age you just study, but at least your basics. Because if you see in the job street or any of the websites, so their minimum qualification is only the way you can enter into the organization. Doesn't matter how much you know, like nobody is going to ask with the people, right? So first they look into the CV. So if you have a degree, then definitely you go and attend the interview, then you show your skills, and the future is your, you can be the director, you
Hmm.
can be the CEO, nobody is stopping you. You just need to work hard. Yeah.
Dr.
Absolutely.
Rama and Dr. LB, I'm thinking from the perspective of a student who is currently studying right now. I think all of us have been through that. We have done our postgraduate degrees. As a student, how do we go about focusing on our studies, especially we have already cleared the hurdle of undergraduate degree? How do we stay focused in order to walk through the postgraduate degree program, which is generally around 1 year plus to 2 years, right? So, is there any tips? I think there might be some slightly different tips between going through an MBA program as compared to going through the Master of Science program. Maybe Dr. Rama, you do want to start first?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Like I'm teaching like in Master of Science in Cybersecurity from the TU. What I feel, the demand of the university is not to write the papers. They are giving the projects, especially in the post graduation. Their assessment is not on the based of the exam paper which they are just memorizing and writing. So they have their projects. So which is definitely totally practical. Practical means they just need to complete it, and the same thing they're going to do in their offices, in their future jobs. So the tips is that don't have a gap after graduation, very important, because in master degree you are doing projects. Theory, whatever you learn in your diploma, and the practical, like commands or practical programs, how to write and everything. So if you implement them in your projects, that is, a small, you can say, a tip to finish your master, without taking stress. You can easily do this. And even I can say, yeah, they can even do the freelancing projects also together with their master degree. That's definitely bring their knowledge into the higher level. So together with the master degree, if they're doing their freelancing projects, they so that will definitely help them to achieve the target via their master degree. So group projects, freelancing projects, no gap. And go with the quizzes. Go and look into the Kahoot quizzes. If you forget graduation or diploma, just don't read it. Attend the quizzes. There are, n number of quizzes are kept in the Google, in Kahoot. Go and attend them. Join the groups. There are various technical groups. So people are talking nowadays about the, viruses are coming, this attack, SQL injection, cross-site scripting attack. What's the new vulnerability is coming in my Microsoft system? What's the new in Linux? Just join those groups while doing the master degree, because already enough have knowledge. This is the time to explore yourself. So that is my suggestion for all my upcoming students. Yeah.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
fantastic. Dr.
Absolutely,
LV,
absolutely.
what do you
Absolutely.
think?
I think, yeah, I think the postgraduate programs go deeper and go wider into all the areas that were covered by the undergraduate degrees. And I think one of the very something that I think all of lecturers at MDIS are very, very proud of is that we have a very strong mentorship program. This is something that all the lecturers at MDIS are really proud of. We really understand that especially with working students, there are a lot of pressures, and as well as with students who are not working, who are doing the full time program, there are a lot of pressures. So we do go out of our way. We have strong mentorship programs at the master's level. We even have a strong mentorship program at the doctorate level to make sure that you complete on time, to make sure that you deliver good assignments, good dissertations, etc. Uh, I genuinely, sometimes when students have finished from MDIS and they've gone elsewhere, etc., sometimes they come back and say that, hey, we are at this university, but we don't have any mentorship here at all. And that's absolutely true. It's something that I personally, I'm very proud of it. And I think all lecturers here, do a fantastic job of mentoring our students.
Yeah, we have got two supervisors in the DBA program, right? And these two supervisors really take care of our students very well in all aspects, not just the project, but also giving different perspectives. One of the supervisors, director of studies, is from London and from UK, and also the other one is from Singapore. So therefore, if they're using some kind of a case that is local, they would have local perspective that they would be able to anchor with the theories offered by the UK director of studies. Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely. So,
yeah, and that's
there
really
are
wonderful.
yeah, there are two
And also,
supervisors for the program, as Dr. Richard said, and the role of MDIS, the role of the program leader that I am, is to be like a mother hen, to make sure that you meet your supervisors every month. To a large extent, I think sometimes our students have called us mother hens, because these are busy working professionals, and we tell them, "Oh my God, you have to meet your supervisors this month," and they say, "Hey, but we are very busy. We have there's one student of mine who's working in the Prime Minister's office. He says there's
Wow.
some crisis here, etc." But I still say no. Try not to miss the meeting. Try to do the meeting, and as long as you meet once a month, your doctorate program will take care of itself. And I think
yes,
that's
there
true
is a
for
need to chase them a little bit
absolutely.
and to
I think
and to
as
get them to come on speed.
yes, I think
Yeah.
as an institution, MDIS is very much a caring institution that really goes, way beyond just teaching your students. It tries to take care of it, tries to take care of them in a way that I genuinely feel that other institutions do not.
Yeah, I can attest to that because I'm the mother. I'm also a mother hen myself, chasing after my students all the time. Uh, Dr. Rama, how about students over at your master program? How are they like? What are the challenges that they are going through, and how is the learning experience like?
Yeah, challenges. I mean, the very important point which I told previously also. Like what I found, if the student is having gap, they will definitely have the challenge of memorization. They forget the syntax. They forget how to write programs. They forget the normal criteria. Then they have to do project. So that's a big challenge, but there is no problem in case they have gap also. Never think, like, it is important that you should complete your studies within a time, but it is not mandatory that if you're not able to do because of some circumstances, then future you can't do. I think for education there is no age and there is no time, right? So anytime they can pick up, but they need to put little efforts. Like as I told you, go and see some of the previous quizzes. No need to read the full books because they are already aware with the concepts. They just need to remind back. They need to grill the knowledge. Immediately join some fresh groups. There are many students like them who are also waiting for others. So when they're discussing, they're sleeping where they're going to awake from their long sleep. So just join the groups, attend quizzes. No need to read the heavy books and then sleep later on. Come up, bring the important points which are actually required for their master degree projects, and must do the projects honestly. Very important.
Right,
Must do the
and
project
also
honestly.
to Right. And
Yeah.
also to share with everyone is that the MDIS is a very highly reflexive organization in terms of teaching and learning. And we have a very strong community of practice among all our staff, where we learn from each other, teaching and learning strategies, and also how do we go about mentoring our students. And besides also learning among ourselves, we also learn a great deal from our students because as we throw different ideas across to them and to have this very good sparring sessions. So I'm just wondering about Dr. Rama and Dr. LB, in terms of teaching and learning for both of you, how has it been in terms of this cycle of mutual learning between
Absolutely.
colleagues and also with students?
This is
Dr.
Absolutely.
LB?
yeah, yeah,
I
yes,
have,
Dr. Albi, you can carry on.
Actually, I have absolutely, I take great pride in the fact that in something that that we call reverse mentorship. That means we have students who teach us. See, our students, especially the postgraduate students and especially the doctorate students, they are from very, very different backgrounds. They have very interesting disciplines. One of them, as I said, works in the Prime Minister's office. So these people come with very interesting learnings, and we are very, very, very keen that they should share those learnings with the whole class. And uh, it's actually, we are all learning together, and it's absolutely true that we have learned as much from the students as from as they from the teachers, because everything is moving very quickly, and sometimes just to keep pace with all those changes, we all need to move together, whether it's students, whether it's teachers, whether it's program heads, etc. And I think I coming back to something that Dr. Rama had said, I think about the challenges that students face. I completely sympathize with students who have, they are working a full-time job, which these days in nearly every part of the world means you're working nearly 10 hours a day at least, and sometimes more, if
Yeah.
one has to be realistic. And then, of course, you quite often have a family, you have children. So these are challenges, these are definite challenges. But in some sense, I think some of our working students have welcomed the online learning platform, because they say, okay, we are learning, we are attending class, but we are doing it from the confines of our family home, etc. So we are still spending some time with the children, and it's great fun when, sometimes we've had babies on the students' lap, and sometimes we have their pets who come in, and it's very charming, and it becomes very real and alive, because somebody who you look on as a student is actually also a mother, etc. And she has a 10-year-old son, a 5-year-old daughter, etc. So that makes it much more warm and much more emotional and much more caring, I think. I
Yeah,
think
these are the
that's
wisdoms that we get.
Actually,
absolutely, I
we
think
need
it's
to
a
give
wonderful.
them a booster that nothing will change if you study. Nothing. This will definitely bring the happiness in your family.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, there is always, there's a force. Whenever you put a force, you'll definitely get some result.
Yeah.
That's vice
yeah,
There's
versa.
one there's one doctorate student who says that whenever this lady student is doing her doctorate thesis, the daughter says, "Oh, Mama has a doctorate face." That means she has a very, when she's working on her doctorate thesis, she has a certain expression. I don't know what that expression
it's
is, but
it's
that
like very
daughter
stressful.
is that daughter at 5-year old has learned to recognize that expression and has learned that she shouldn't disturb her too much at that time. So
Yeah,
very
so
I, I
I
very
think this is a small, the difficult time which go, but you don't waste your time, because for me also I did my uh, the PhD and the master degree after my baby. So
yeah.
so for me, I would definitely suggest everyone, do not wait for the right time. Right time is today only.
yeah, I totally agree. I think
Yeah.
it's
Absolutely, that's a
important
very
that
inspiring example.
yeah, it is important that we all know that even in trying times, that during the pandemic, we can still improve ourselves. Like recently, I've just completed my master's in media and communication studies, a follow
Oh
up
wow.
to my profession over 1 year. Yeah, so these are things that we have done. And also, even though it seems very difficult and challenging to get the thesis going, but most importantly, I think focus and also have that resolute and the passion that you know that you can do it, and that's really really important. I think for all postgraduate students who are and also to be postgraduate students tuning in right now, the MDIS does offer many wonderful pathways to postgraduate degree studies in the School of Information and Technology, where Dr. Rama comes from, as well as School of Business and Social Sciences, where Dr. LB currently teaches. And in fact, there are also other programs that you can look for in the MDIS website, and it's all there. So we hope to see you soon and welcome you to our program. And also, for those who are finishing your undergraduate degree programs, stay focused, get the best grades ever, and so that you are able to apply into our postgraduate degree programs from our wonderful university partners from the UK. So, yeah, I think thank you so much, Dr. Rama and Dr. LB, for spending such a wonderful time having this conversation. And everyone else, stay tuned and have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much, Dr. Richard. Thank you so much, Dr. Albi, for giving your time. Even I know your condition, but still you gave your time to us. That's wonderful. And it is my
Yeah.
pleasure to sit with you both and have discussion on our classroom experience and PG pathways as well. So thank you so
Well,
much for both of you. And
yeah, your
Thank you.
pleasure is
Thank you,
ours.
Dr. Richard. Thank you, Dr.
yeah,
Rama. I
Thank
look
you.
forward to meeting all the students soon, wherever in the world you are, whatever program you want to do. Please do contact us. We are a school that reaches out a helping hand to in many many different ways, and I look forward to meeting you on campus soon.
Yes, visit our website now, then give us a call or drop us a mail, and we'll get in touch real soon.
yes. So
Okay?
kindly
Right.
see our mdis.edu.sg and find out the various programs with our different partners. yeah,
Okay.
from the UK and more. Thank you so much for both of you. Have a
Have
wonderful
a good
day
very,
for both
very
of you.
wonderful afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.